How is the audio? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? GM Ripman, it's going to be a great show today, ladies and gentlemen. Pepe, always a Pepe. This is another one, my good friend, where, I, even though we haven't met, but I really do appreciate your skill set. And I want to just share with you that I feel like we're sort of like brothers in tech in a way. And what I'm going to show you today is something that I think, again, from your technology perspective, it's going to be this thing that you are really going to appreciate once you see what it really does. And I'm going to speak a little bit more about what's going to happen with this tech. But here's really something that I want to make sure you guys process. Okay. Ever since we started working with the money machine, and when we launched, before it was kind of just us, but we launched the alpha, and we've been getting such good feedback from people, all sorts of different ideas that then we couple with our own. And I'm going to showcase to you today some of this stuff. And I think it has this potential to really blow your mind, because what you're going to see is a level of interaction that you have not seen before. And you're going to, hopefully, you are going to understand what we can do with this once this is launched. Okay. Just again, for some entertainment value, I've seen a pretty big pullback in Nebius from, of course, the highs of 130, almost 50% pullback. So it might be a good buying opportunity. And I'm in this one big. But I want to show you this one that you've seen me be in, and I've been in this one for a little while. But I'm just kind of showcasing a hedge here. So I've got 20,000 shares of Hycroft at about $4. And now I'm right at around that, approaching the $250,000 in profits. And look at this trade. We're talking about from July. And, this goes back to the Ripman, I'll get to that. So I just want to, again, quickly just say this one goes back to the 2021 meme stock craze. But as you guys know, nothing is over. And look at this chart. In 6 months, 366%. This is one of the largest properties of a silver mine in the world, if not the largest in terms of square footage. So just keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on silver. And, I'm just trying to show you that the ups and downs of trading. Okay. We're about to get into some fun. So I want to explain a couple of things. So I do not have the money machine on yet. But I have a race here. And what I'm doing is I'm putting on some trades manually. And this is going to be a big component of what we talk about today, but I'm going to showcase something that is sort of huge. So let me start by first going into the settings of the money machine, and so you can see the upgrade or the new tech that we put in. Pepe, enjoy the show. Okay, let's go with the settings. So of course you guys know that you can create all sorts of things yourself. Like I can go right here and go to configure, and I just want you to see what we're looking at. So I've got a position in 15-minute range that's 5. So like it's a pullback, 5 to 60, and actually I should probably, I want to make this 20 to 60. Change from the close 2%, change from the open 1. But over the last 2 minutes, it's pulled back. I'm going to say a little bit less. 10 cents. Relative volume of 5. Position in day range. Let's just talk about this. Again, the idea here is I'm trying to do a pull back pickup. So what I want is something like 80 to 55. Okay, so I'm going to hit OK. And again, this allows you to really pattern recognize. Okay, and I'm trading stocks between 5 and 25. Have to have a minimum volume of 500,000. I'm going to be buying $2,500 worth, roughly speaking. Notice I have auto add manual positions. I'm going to get rid of exit positions on stop because I'm going to keep them in here. And again, I'm just messing around, and I want to, in this case, I haven't turned it on yet, but this stuff, you'll see what I'm doing, and we'll discuss why these numbers are what they are. But here's where we get to the interesting stuff, okay? So you can see stop price, 3%, but now notice this, okay? Minimum stop dollar. So I can put in, I don't want to, and there has to be $100 loss before it gets stopped out. So that's just another component where you can adjust both dollar numbers and stop numbers. Oh, sorry. Let me explain. I misused this. This is for right here. So what I'm saying here is I mistyped the number. Well, here's what I was trying to say, and I showed this last time, but this is key. When you're trading smaller stocks, like in the dollar range, you can't really have a 3% stop because that's like 3 cents. And spread is 1 cent, so you can't do that. So I'm saying it has to be at least 11 cents of a dollar move. Okay. So that way, for the smaller stocks, this takes over. And for some of the bigger stocks, I'm going to make this 5% because again, we're dealing in bigger numbers. Same thing here. Okay. You've got all sorts of trailing stop logic. This is almost not the important stuff, but the important thing that I want to show everybody so that you start looking is right here. Pepe, check this out. Okay. So what this is an evaluation engine based on time. So it's going to make you look at your position and make some decisions. And we're going to talk about what it does. Okay. So we have exit position after 5 minutes, and you'll see why this is really good. This name is going to be changed. It's really notify position, not exit. But again, this is a work in progress. And we're saying that we're not going to re-enter a stock for 15 minutes, and you'll see what this 75 seconds does in a minute. And I'm going to hit save profile. Okay. And I'm going to launch. I'm going to hit start. So wait till this comes through. So you got a lot of the same names that I'm already in. IMG, Chow, TGL. I'm in these. Okay. So let's click through them so you can see. Okay. So this stop right here, this is where the 11 cents comes in, right? So in this particular case, you can kind of see what's going on here. I'm going to adjust it a little bit. And we're working on auto adjustments to either the moving average or VWAP. In this case, like I'm really here, I bought, I sold it. I made money on this trade. I mean, again, all before I started the live stream. And then I bought it again because this is what's going on here, and obviously you never ever know. And I'm simply just showcasing the tech in real time. But here I've got the stop. Okay. But remember, we are on this 5-minute counter, and you're going to see what's going to happen in a minute. So here, same thing, 795, 746 is the stop. Gonna adjust it just a little bit right here. RX. Notice once again, adjusting to VWAP. So these things that I'm doing right now manually, they're going to be done automatically very soon. And I'm just showcasing to you visually what's going to happen. If you, Oz, I think that has to do, if you have the money machine. So that's actually a good question. I think the money machine should take over because its stops are in the automated mode. I think it overrides, but it's actually a good question, and I want to investigate this. So Teddy, great question. This is not long only; it can short as well. The reason that I do long demos is because really 98% of people primarily go long, and the people that go short, well, they're just a little bit more skilled at the mechanics of the market. So I demonstrate this for a broader market audience, but I will showcase a short version of this today, so you'll see it, but it does absolutely both. Okay. And in fact, I mean, some of this stuff you could very easily go short as well. So one of the things I want to make sure you guys know is that I have auto add manual positions. So if it's working the right way, any position that I add automatically, the money machine will take over and auto trade. But let's look at this. We're at 50. Let me see here. So I started these positions a little bit early. So what I'm going to do is, I mean, we should be right in. There's an interesting thing, like, again, because these positions were initiated early, the timer that I have set, I can't exactly track, but in about 1 or 2 minutes, you should see something that I'm trying to demonstrate. And if not, I'll stop this, restart it, and then it'll take 5 minutes. But let's take a look at this and, notice again, huge volume, lots of volatility. This is exactly the kind of stuff that the money machine should be trading. And just want to make sure and notice instantly, as soon as I get in, boom, you've got the stop auto populating. And look at this chart. So I'm trading. So I'm doing two things that I'm really demonstrating here. The money machine is on autopilot, but at the same time, okay, here we go. Pepe, check it. Do you guys see this thing that just popped up? Symbol, IMG. That's this one right here. Okay. And symbol, RXRX. I'm on a counter. So I'm down 100 unrealized P&L. I'm down $179 in IMG and $4. So I'm going to remain in this one. Let me evaluate IMG. I don't like that. But, I'll just move the stop up a little bit. If I can catch it. But do you see what it's doing? It's making me evaluate. So this is it's saying, hey, you're down in this. I'm going to get out because, in fact, I'll let it exit so you guys can see what's going on. I'm not going to touch it. So watch what happens. $14, $13. Boom, it's gone. So why is it doing this? Okay, so let's discuss this for a minute. It's not really about, also here, this one just appeared. TGL, that's this one. I'm down. So why, again, I want to talk about why is this happening? Remember, we set a timer, okay? And what we're saying here is that there's an opportunity cost component to trading these names. And I'm not, in this particular example, trying to just destroy the market and make money for you guys. I'm demonstrating a technique. So just be aware of this. A lot of this stuff, this is not how I trade, but I want to demonstrate to you what I'm doing, which is I'm getting into things, okay? And once I am down, like in this particular case, CHAP, right? That I'm down 6%. I should have been out of this early. So let's exit. Okay. So now I'm in two things and the market's coming in. And so there isn't a new one that's really like that's doing anything that's meeting my criteria. Okay. So we can look at other things like here, bought, exited just because of but here it's doing it all over the place. Dare Biosciences right there. Okay, so we're getting into some other things. I believe this one. Okay, so here we are. Notice again, we're doing a strategy that's a pullback strategy. I'm going to give it a little more room right here. And there's a timer on it that basically says if you're not up very quickly, you're going to be exiting the trade and you're out. Because there's an opportunity cost component to these. And you are, if you are moving quickly, and again, these, I'm trading stuff that's very, very volatile here. And this thing got halted, by the way, just now because of this. But what I'm really trying to demonstrate is that we have built in an auto opportunity cost detection system. Okay. And this system, so let me do something. I'm going to exit all of these. I'm going to stop this. I'm going to exit. Okay. And I'm going to do one. Okay, close. That's fine. I'm going to do one thing here. I'm going to change this to MM2. Save profile. I'm going to go to MM2 here. Okay. And I'm now going to restart the money machine from scratch so we can watch it really go brand new. Okay. So we're just waiting for stuff to happen. Nothing's happened yet. And by the way, sometimes when you turn it on, it's not the time to trade. So that's okay. So IQ, it's not going to close it. So this is the thing I'm trying to make sure you understand. If it's up at least 0.2% or $5, it's not even going to come up for you as an exit candidate because it's currently positive. So this is your minimum, meaning like I want it to be positive. If it's not positive, then I'm going to exit very quickly. Does that make sense? And it can move after you exit, absolutely. Which is again why this number I'm doing for demo purposes. I mean, you can 15, 20 minutes. You can do all sorts of different stuff. This is all customizable. Okay, let's stop this. And let's reset our settings here. Let's get this easier. And maybe this should make it a little bit better. And position in range 35. Make this 3. .05. Hit OK. Okay. Save profile. Let's see if this works. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we bought RKLZ. Here we are. And we have about $125 that we're willing to lose on it. Right at the go. But remember I mentioned that we're working on better stops. And like, in this case, you can potentially say, how about just below the, believe this is, see if I can click on it. This is the 130 period SMA, okay, right here. Sometimes you don't need to lose a lot of money. That's part of the point. There's just no need for it, okay? And remember, once again, we're on this timer, okay, for 5 minutes. I know we traded this before. And here, now we just bought this pullback. Here's another perfect example where, well, you're way below the 10 period SMA, and this thing is doing some movement, but the VWAP here looks, again, sometimes you just don't need to risk a lot. And what we're working on is the automation of this to dial it in more with not just a percentage number, but the motion of, like, where is it in relation to its 130, 10, and VWAP, and that can help you pinpoint a better stop percentage. So once again, let's remember we're on this timer, and what we're demonstrating here is opportunity cost detection. Okay, and we're back in the stuff that we were in before, because that's the pattern. Remember, I'm trying to pick something up. I'm doing what's called bottom fishing in essence. You know, I'm trying to buy a pullback. That's the, if you look at my settings, right? Upside, pullback, pickup. So the market is down, but see, it just, the pulse just turned positive. So some of this stuff could move. Maybe we'll see. And here we just caught a little bit of this MGRT. I mean, it's all over the place. When something is trading 44%, it's very, very, very volatile. So you kind of have to be prepared for lots of movement in all sorts of different directions. So don't forget that right here on these settings, account settings, so I'm gonna get rid of all of these and just showcase the money machine that we're doing. So that's this one right here. Okay, and notice that it's got the profit target locked in by itself now. So it just did that. So if you go to hide zero positions, you know, you can see when something's trading this much, we're really working on a automated adjustment of relative volume to profit targets and things like that, just FYI. Okay. And notice this distance from exit price. So here, basically, I just got kind of caught in a little volatility move because, let's go to settings and stops, trailing stop. I think it was this tighten stop after 0.3. That's what caught me here. And we are auto working on all of these. This is kind of like our starting point. So Teddy, everybody will get a bank of strategies that we create, but you can create your own. It's not so much that I handpick them. We just make them kind of on the fly, and we're constantly testing different versions of them. And what I'm really trying to, and this whole interface is about to change in such a cool way where basically, if you go to, for example, upside pullback, and this is going to be over here on the right-hand side, and what you will see is some of these stocks. Okay, so here, let's go, let's close this out, and let's go here and look at what we're doing. So to the tune of opportunity cost detection, okay, RKLZ, and I'm going to let it, you know, I'm just going to explain what I'm doing here. I'm going to let it do its thing. What it's going to say to me is, hey, Dan, you've been in this thing for 5 minutes. And remember, I'm doing 5 minutes for demo purposes only. You know, that's not necessarily how you would do it, but it's so that you understand that you can have this thing evaluate. And this is version 1, like it's actually version 0.01. This whole interface is changing and getting much cooler. But what we're trying to showcase is here, you're losing money in this trade. You've been in it for 5 minutes. You're losing 0.5%. Maybe it's time to get out. So here we go. Let's just watch it for a minute and let it do its thing. And remember, what's kind of cool here is you know, a zero commission's losing $11. Not that big of a deal. Let's in this case like 25 or 30. So here, INO, let's take a look. But it also forces you to evaluate it a little bit. So here, notice I'm going to say, you know what, I like this one because of this candle. So I'm staying in this position. So you're constantly working. You know, instead of just watching and hoping, you're constantly working. And notice I have this incredible thing right here, distance from exit price, which you're not going to get anywhere in any other vendor. And what this is telling you, like, for example, I know that this one, I didn't exit this one well because it popped in right afterwards. So, okay, here we go. JFBR, let's take a look. Okay, Jeff Brands, only up 7 cents, 20 times relative volume. So here's something that I can do, just so watch. I'm going to go right here and really adjust my stop to $65 and remain in position. So do you see, because of these notifications, you're now really working with it. Awesome. I love it. Well, I mean, you've been doing this for a while, so you've kind of gotten better at it. And what I'm trying to really showcase here is this interaction. Okay. What it is it's a kind of a forced working, not forced, force is not the right word, but it's a work with the adjustment. So look here, I'm down almost 1%. I don't need to lose $126. I'm going to put this to the VWAP and risk 54. Do you see what I'm saying? Now I'm going to remain in position. This is, of course, this is lunch hour, totally. But I'm demonstrating something important, which is now we have built in this automated risk adjustment opportunity cost detection system inside the software. So that if you, like, one of the things that we've noticed, and we've gotten feedback from you guys about this, is that, like, you can turn the money machine on, and if your stops and risk criteria are wide, well, you can be in the same crap all day. And the problem is other stuff is moving. Sometimes taking a small loss then opens up this area so that you can be so you can find the one that starts going. And that's why we call it the opportunity cost detection system. So let me tell you what's going on. There's some, the support and resistance. There's a whole news feed that's coming in, and we believe Monday or Tuesday the next version's coming out and might just pop right into the beta, not even be a new alpha, and it's going to have all of this stuff, which means that what do I have that you don't? You can use alerts. So it's just like the old school automation where you can set up an alert system and Money Machine will trade it. And you can use alerts for entries. You can use alerts. You can use your own price alerts. You can trade off of the race. So there's all of these things are things right now that you do not have, that I do, that we've been testing the shit out of. And it's incredible stuff, you guys. I mean, it's incredible, but this really, to me, takes it to a whole new level, because what it's doing that you haven't done before is a more critical evaluation. Okay, let's take a look at what's going on here. Golf. Okay, that's an interesting one. I'm not going to do anything with it just now, but it's interesting. Another very interesting. Look at this move. I mean, look, you guys see this? So this is the CBD company, and I'm gonna manually get in, and it should let me, now the Money Machine. Once I manually get in, the Money Machine is now managing this trade. Boom, auto stop. Do you see what I'm saying? And I'm going to move it just below the VWAP, risk 82, because look at the move here. You know, if this thing goes, and it could, we don't know, but there's just such huge potential. Teddy, the back tester is the same. The one that I have is the same one that you have access to. And we are working on improving it by completely automating the optimization process. So see this right here? Okay. So I've been in this trade now for 10 minutes. You see what I'm saying? So it's telling me I've been in it for 10 minutes. It hasn't done anything yet. Hasn't met my criteria. But I'm going to remain. So this is telling me, what should I do? I'm going to stay in it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust my stop just a little bit. So do you see what I mean? Now I'm risking $22. I've been in it for 10 minutes, and it started off with like risking $100 or so or more, but I've been adjusting. And now, you know, if it goes, then I will. Okay, another perfect example. Let's take a look here. So here's one. I don't need to risk $65 in here. Exit position. So we can add an opening range breakout strategy to the money machine. Let me show you what IQ is talking about. So new alert window. Start from scratch. Search. Okay. So here, for example, you can do a 10-minute opening range breakout. Here's the alert. Okay. And you can add some filters like 3 times relative volume, and a volume today 500. You can just put a K in there. Minimum price of $1, maximum price of 20. Just examples. Okay. Change from the open 1%. And so you can actually do some really cool things here, and I'm going to showcase this right now. Like, so look at this, for example, position in 3-month range, add filter. So what I like, let's say, for example, I want something that's starting to bounce, right? So I can go something like 35 and 20. Okay. So do you see what I'm doing right here? So important. And I'm going to title this. Oh, hold on a second, by the way. So once again, notice I'm getting notification. Remain in position. So you're constantly working with your position. Opening range, long term, revert, and I will bear with me here. We've got OG. So I'm down $5 after 5 minutes. I'm going to remain in here. That's fine. So this is the system that we got from IQ's question. Pepe, yes. But through system notification. And by the way, I have a double monitor, so that's why on your monitor it would pop up over here. So see, it's forcing you, and it's okay. We can say the word force, okay? And you can make this whatever you want. You can make the time whatever you want as GMT. So I'm just looking at it, right? I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to remain in position, but here's what I'm going to do. I'm just adjust my stop. There's no need to risk. Okay, I will. Okay, so first of all, I want to show you something because there was a question about back testing, and I'm going to showcase what our back testing does compared to other back testers. So right click, back test strategy. So let's say again, you're starting this at, let's call it 15 minutes after the open, but you're not getting into any more trades. Hold on. You see this? constant interaction. Remain in position. But you're not going to add anything. This is like an early morning trade, okay? And timed exit after, let's call it an hour, okay? And simulate buy. Let's see what happens. And again, we don't know, you know? So 41% winner. This was a big one. Caught something big. 53 trades. You know, and if you go to optimization, you can kind of see what's going on in the optimization side. So this was the big one, caught a big one. These were a little, you know. But I'm saying that you can really do this with anything. So here, let's go to save and share to the cloud. Save and share. I'm giving you guys all the link. Okay. That doesn't mean that I would trade this specifically. It just means that, and by the way, this happens to have been an AI trade today as well, RX. So that's an interesting one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to trade ticket, and you know, look how long it's been here, and it's above the AI signal. I'm just going to buy 300 shares. Boom. And now we're in it. So the other thing I keep mentioning to you guys is that this is one of these things where you can really use the money machine as a water tester. Like, you know, like you dip your toe in the water to see, is it cold? Is it warm? What's going on? So as you start doing this right here, like, do you see like MGRT? I just exited it poorly on my initial example. You know, it's been as high as 9, pulled back, went below here. But this distance from exit price is a really powerful technology because it's kind of telling you when you got out of something and it continues to go so that you can pivot. So I'm going to move this down a little bit. Start. There we go. Okay. So here we are. We're just in a bunch of trades. The market's, you know, it's lunchtime downside market, and I'm putting a bunch of stuff on. So we should not be surprised at all that not too much stuff is working at the moment. This is not the way you would normally trade, but I am demonstrating the fact that we have now built in an automated system that's helping you to evaluate. And look, I've been in this, so let's just talk about it. I've been in BD, where is this thing? Okay, BDRX. I've been in it for 16 minutes. Okay, and it actually just started to go. So I'm going to remain in this position. You see, it's made this move. But you can always like then do something like that. This is versus just looking at numbers, which, and there's nothing wrong with numbers, but they don't give you the same feel as, hey, you've been in this for 10 minutes. And 10 minutes isn't really a long time, but look at this. Is there any reason for me to lose $131 in this? Absolutely not. So what I'm going to do is do something like this, remain in position. But now I've dialed in my risk. Do you guys see what I am talking about and why the power of this evaluation time is? And again, this 5 minutes that I'm doing, it's basically, it's almost like you're at the gym or you're at the range. It's repping me. What should I do? What should I do? Now I'm working with the tech. I'm adjusting stops all the time. And it's only pointing me in the direction of things that are down. Like, by the way, it's not like if this thing goes and this thing goes, notice they won't come up, right? Why? Because they're up. It's only these guys that are going to be like, hey, take a look. Something is going on. Do you guys see what I'm talking about and how important and critical this component is? there's just, and by the way, we had help with this, and we appreciate all the people that have given us feedback from using the tech. It's incredible to see so much utilization and interaction. And what we're trying to really show you guys is that this ain't no focus group software development. We are diving into it, and we're building this stuff with you watching in real time. And I've never seen anything like this happen in any tech anywhere. Certainly not in trading tech. Well, I'll take it back. Back when I was a very young man in 95, I was one of the original users of this thing called CyberTrader, and Schwab bought them for $500 million in like 99 or 98. And I was one of the original users of that. And they did the same thing. The developers were on the trading floor looking at what was going on. And here we're trying to show you, again, when you see the next notification, you will see that this and this and this are not going to be, unless it changes, they're not going to be part of it, because you don't need to worry about this opportunity cost. It's heading in your direction. And it'll automatically, if this thing goes, it'll automatically adjust all the stops and things like that. Okay, let's take a look. RILY. Yeah, I like, this is stuff that I like, by the way, so we'll throw in but remember what I mentioned, RX. Why is it? Because it's down. Okay. But it's not down a lot. So I'm going to remain in position. I'm going to look at this RX. What do we got? 32. I can even adjust this even more. Do you see what I mean now? Like, reduce my risk. So what we've created is a system that now, let me take a look at Nike. I mean, I don't know about AI, but I'll just tell you what I see. I mean, it's still in a kind of a downtrend since September, but since November, so over the last 2 months, it's been bouncing. I mean, I filed that under who the hell knows. Like, it's impossible to know exactly in this particular case. But things that, like, I mean, in Nike, trading 1% is actually kind of big for Nike. But, when you're like, look at the difference. Why are we in this versus Nike? Do you guys see what I'm saying? And by the way, one of the things that we're adding to the money machine, which is really going to be amazing, is that you will be able to go Nike and hit a button and say auto trade it, and it will do whatever analysis it does and decide, long, short, or do nothing. And so you'll be able to trade any one of your favorite stocks, Apple, Tesla. Just pull it up and hit the auto trade button, and it will do its magic. So pretty incredible stuff going on. Okay, let's keep watching. The real thing that I'm trying to make sure that you all understand is that, first of all, here, okay, once again, let's look at it. OGI, I think we've interacted with it already. But you see, like, we're okay, right? I can risk this. I can risk this because I'm only going to risk $19. It's very tight. It's not over here. I don't need to be a hero, but what I've got now is a way to participate in a huge move. If it breaks out above here, I mean, who knows what the hell can happen, right? But I've really mitigated all of my risk. Same with this, like here now with this Riley, okay? Let's go back to, so 23 minutes. Okay, so I've been in this for 23 minutes and I'm only up $4. I'm going to remain in position, but certainly I'm going to evaluate this now. And I don't know. I mean, this is again one of these things where I'm going to give it a little bit more. Okay. And that's just simply a feel thing. It's a little bit of a feel thing, but now, here, exit, flatten. No need. But you're interacting with your positions and your data in a much different way. So this one, once again, I'm going to move to right here. No need to be a hero in a down market. And when this market pulse tells you the tape. Dave, thank you. Thank you. Def, we would not trade options on the money machine because, again, number one, options, the options traders are trading against you, the market makers. I mean, there's no win. Like this whole thing with options, and it really took off after 2021 with the gamma squeeze and all that stuff. I don't want my thing to be time expiring. And that's what options are. So, I mean, you pay for that leverage with the fact that criminals control the market and they can always do things that you are not. I mean, only very few people really make money doing it. I'm just going to be honest, unless you're a market maker. So here we go. 2 notifications. So 5 minutes. Okay, this is fine. 26 minutes. 26 minutes, $5. I mean, at this point, I'm going to exit, and I'm going to exit this, and 10 minutes. Let's take a look. I mean, there's no reason to get out, and I've got to see, like, now I'm like, no reason to get out. I have a tight stop, and we're going to add that data so you can see it. Stop at, max loss, whatever, remain in position. And it's working behind the scenes, so it's adding different things. I believe we just got into this. Yeah. So here you're just playing a potential bounce here. The opening range breakout has the date column on the time. So if you shrink it, it's the time, but if you expand it, you have the date. Okay, here we go, our YCBD. You guys remember what was going on there. So now that we did this, okay, I'm simply adjusting my stops a little bit. Now there's still volatility, but I am controlling my risk in a much more efficient way than I was before. And what you're shooting for here, and again, like look at what's going on, right? I mean, we're trading against the market, so to speak. And I am, let's see what's going on here. So here we're back in this one. We've been in this one before. 2x short RKLB. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to adjust right to my previous exit and see, can I catch something? It is a little bit like fishing. So I've been in this for 20 minutes and I'm down $7. I mean, there's really just nothing going on. And because we're over here, I'm exiting the position. No need to be a hero. And I'm just showcasing an example of how, whereas before you would be doing nothing, now you are interacting, you're working, you're moving in, moving out. Commissions are zero, remember, but here, why did I exit? I just want to like talk through the mindset. So notice how we are way above all sorts of highs. So this is an extension and we were long and it was fine, but it hadn't started moving. It's been in a very tight range. So there's no reason to, to be a hero. And it's really that simple. So the key here is what the primary thing that I've demonstrated today is the time evaluation engine, which is designed for opportunity cost detection and evaluation. I have this set for 5 minutes. So every 5 minutes, the software is talking to me about my positions. This can be 2 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes. It's up to you. And notice I'm just saying like, hey, if I'm up a little bit, don't mess with me. But these things can be like to the tune of opportunity costs, like $50, whatever. And notice I'm not going to get into something for 15 minutes. And I've got 75 seconds where I'm going to evaluate the message. So this is the new component. And we are building lots of really cool tech that is going to integrate some of the risk management with relative volume. Something like this, it's at a different level. And notice here, like, this has not been adjusted properly. I'm just going to say, because I want to stop that. So that's not what I wanted to do. But I just want to make sure you guys understand that the way I have it set, this is fine for demonstration purposes, but I would not have this, like, there should be like set to break even, or like, but the volatility is so high, I could easily just move right here, take $17, and it starts running. So this is just a demonstration of tech. This is not exactly how I would do it, but I do want to make you guys see that the money machine is doing what it's supposed to do. So on this trade, I can no longer lose. I'm up this much. We'll see what happens. You can see why this came up. I've been in this trade for 5 minutes. We're on lows, and certainly there's zero reason to lose $125. Absolutely zero. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to do something like this and remain in position. Give it just a little more, but that's it. But do you see what I mean? This interactive level completely changes the dynamic of position management. And again, once I go over here, notice I can then also look and see, well, here's this MGRT that, I got out, but it's been higher. Okay, just keeping an eye on that. INO exited right here, started to go. Kind of the same thing. Sometimes you make these decisions and they're not always correct, mind you. But by the way, I didn't lose much, so it's no problem. Okay. And the idea is you really want to be able to get into some of these ones like this CBDMD that can really then run up potentially, 200, 300%, like what it's done already. The move was right here. I actually don't trade sub-dollar stocks, but even at $1, at $1, let's just be honest, they didn't make it easy. But you're talking about from $1 to 248 in just a few days. Okay, so here now, I don't need to, boom, I'm up. Just didn't get in at a good price. So we just got into this one. And I'm going to give it very little room, but do you see what I mean? trial and error, but you're working with the positions, always working with them versus just watching and hoping. So you guys, as we're approaching the end of the hour, hopefully you can see that the Trade Ideas team is continuing to push the envelope of what is possible with this new tech. And this get ready, because this new version is coming out very, very soon. And there's lots of cool stuff in it. As you can see, we've got support, resistance, so you know what's going on there. You will be able to use your price alerts, races, all sorts of things that right now are not available. Alerts for entries, that's like using that opening range breakout for the entries. So that's what that is. Auto add manual positions. Okay, here we are. So Ripman, that's a great question. Some of this stuff is a little bit of a feel thing, but the release you're asking for is coming in the next few days. So we're really there. I don't like. I will be honest, right? I feel the same way as you. I also want this stuff to be coming out sooner. But can I just tell you like some annoying bullshit? We have to like in the middle of something, we just found out that we had to do like a license renewal for some, I don't know if it's C++ or some other, but like basically some shit that allows you to upgrade stuff like internally. Like it's also pieces of tech, and we had to like renew our license, and that was stupidly annoying. So that took time, and one of our engineers who's in charge of that just got married. So these little things happen that, I mean, I can't like exactly tell you that it's great, but I feel the exact same thing as you, and I am the biggest yeller at our team about this stuff. So it's coming. I want it out, and I'm on your side on that. We do it slower than I like, but it's going to happen. And again, very, very, very soon. Tazin, we hadn't thought about that, but I think it's something that could be done. It's a good question. So the primary thing that I was showcasing today is this. Okay? It's the indication that, hey, this isn't working yet. You've been in it for 10 minutes. What do you want to do? And in this particular case, I'll just remain in the position. But again, these choices are yours. All right, you guys, we're at the top of the hour. Let me give another minute, and I will answer any other questions anyone has. We've got, I mean, again, I really appreciate all the people that come in here all the time. Oh, thank you, Pepe. I really appreciate it. Yeah, Taz, it's a good example. Yeah, reaching the big 5-5 on the 22nd, so in 5 days. And man, time flies. Really, really does. I just remember my kids being born just the other day. My daughter's about to start driving her car. Really, again, we're grateful for the feedback that we get here, and with the emails that you guys send, it helps us innovate. And just like today's example of the opening range breakout, I mean, we might be able to do something there. So, okay, SGMT, just let me give last example. here. So SGMT, you know, I'm going to stay in it, but I had to make a decision. So that's what we're showcasing. All right, you guys, love you all. Thank you. By next Wednesday, this version that I have, you will have it. And lots of cool stuff will be going on, and we'll be diving into what you can really do with it. All right, enjoy the rest of your week. Have fun, and I will see you next Wednesday, everyone. Talk to you later. Bye.